Other people's slides, a collaborative imagined memory. Please load slide 1. The anticipation is killing us. We're a bundle of nerves, but very excited by the adventure that awaits. Please load slide 2. Upon landing in Guernsey, we met the rest of the family. On the left is Uncle Pete, who since this photo was taken fell prey to a jellyfish attack on the coast. Jemima, on the second left, was mortified by this event and swiftly returned home, leaving my sister, my 3 remaining aunts to care for my jellyfish wounded uncle. Please load slide 3. I just wanted out of there, and luckily I just happened to come across 3 model planes courtesy of the RAF, so we all jumped on board. Unfortunately, so did the jellyfish, which was still attached to poor old uncle, who it turned out had also spotted the little planes, and in spite of being quite overweight had managed to get the thing to fly. So it was back to little old Farmer. Please load slide 4. Back to Farmer for the dog show. There was only one participant, the local postmistress and her pet poodle Arthur. Despite being the only dog in the show, Arthur came a miserable third. Disgusted with his poor showing, the postmistress placed Arthur in a box and sent him off in the next available mail. Please load slide 5 1/2. She went home and her sister and brother-in-law waited for the news of the competition. The only news she could give was that doggy was gone. No more, no less was discussed over dinner that day. She did not mention the 3rd place, nor did she allow any of the comment to be done over the happening. It was a roast chicken that they were having. Vegetables were all overcooked and the mash tasted strange, but no one dared to say anything more. Please load slide 6. She excused herself from dinner saying she needed to be alone, and went for a walk along the rocks. She sees her beloved dog in the distance, but when she gets close she sees that it is only a stranger rock formation. Please load slide 7. Dreaming of the past as a seal trainer, she thought of her seals basking in the sun on their chessboard pool, and she was a happy lady. Please load slide 8. However, this brought back earlier memories. The savage day the seal dragged her to see as orca food. Luckily Air Sea Rescue were on the scene in under 6 minutes and got her to safety, or was it to be rhino? Please load slide 9. Little did they realize that on the other side of the bay, stirring from slumber, seal pup Sam realized his mistake. Already a plan was forming in his aquatic brain to catch the nearest sea current and track down the man-lady he had nibbled during his recent sea frolic. Would she forgive him? He hoped so. Please load slide 10. There she is, holding her memories in her handbag made of seal skin. Bitch, what should she do? Please load slide 11. A caged bird all her wretched life. She longed for a way out, but could feel life's opportunities draining away, her hours stolen. Please load slide 12. The sun setting on her life. Wearied by unfulfillment, she resolved to act. Please load slide 13. The very next day she was found stranded on a rock after deciding to swim to the neighboring island. Luckily a rescue helicopter spotted her. Please load slide 14. The helicopter pilot, alas, took a wrong turn and began heading fast to Northern Europe, the land of his dreams, a land of windmills, tulips and Gouda. The problem was, she was allergic to cheese. Please load slide 15. One taste of the cheese would cause hallucinations beyond her dreams that made her believe she was in cold and barren land. She ran towards the colliding ice of the mountain top. Please load slide 16. Fortunately the cooling ice did the trick, and with relief she found herself back in England's green and pleasant land. She admired the beautiful water and soothed by the glacier, but suddenly, please load slide 17. The change, inevitably of course, and not without warning, those stirring buses spoke in deep murmurs and in sinking within a bang bang, running again, running hard and wildly into aching woodland dressed in turgid brown robes, each crown of the leaves casting timeless judgment on their sin, away and further within, darker, darker, barely with sight and mostly in fear until the end, like the end of a block of Eden cheese melting softly into my face on a hot day. The ruins were the place of sacrament, atavistic and worn, pulsing like a very big pulsing thing. Peace. Slowly, an echo of sacrifice from that without and the cold sky around. Please load slide 18. Atavistic, animal ruined, 2 skulls, emerging from ancient earth, hot and sandy. Please load slide 19. A seal emerged lithe and glistening in the arid desert air. Mummy, mummy, it limply cried, mummy, I want. Please load slide 20. A lamp that matches our hats. We spent our first Christmas in a suburban swimming pool. There wasn't much on the telly back then. We entertained ourselves by cracking lobsters. Jeff never liked it, so he didn't play. Margaret was suffering from Christmas tree elbow. Please load slide 21. Alice and Barney. Christmas was a distant memory. Summer filled the room, but Alice wasn't taking Barney for walks. She filled the bowls with fruit, painted the radiators grey and buried her husband in the veg patch. Things were looking up, and Barney knew it. You see, Alice had met Mr. Pollock, a butcher at a dance in Huddersfield. He always came with sausages on Sunday. Please load slide 22. That time they spent when they did that thing, all a bluster and blushing, they took hold and dived in. Rank freedom filled the air. Like bonobos in a zoo, they cried out aloud at the tops of their voices, bang my bones, shake my foundations and carry me home. They went there together and 2 people left. That walk in the hills had gone wrong. Please load slide 23. The following day all had changed. The air felt sweeter, crispier, like a fresh sheet on a clear blue bed. I am invincible, he thought, as he sucked the air deep into his lungs, ready for tomorrow and the challenges it would bring. Please load slide 24. Valerie on the other side of the island was also contemplating the day ahead. The 100-meter sprint gold medal was within reach. Once she had ditched her handbag and put her running shoes on, victory would prevail. Please load slide 25. Valerie was far from Dwayne's mind as he posed with his true lover Brendan, on a whistle-stop tour of the Costa del Sol. Please load slide 26. Meanwhile, back at the Olympic Stadium, the crowd were going wild. Valerie's bedfriend and neighbor Gladys could hardly contain her excitement. Please load slide 27. Hey there you guys. So they decided to take the angina medication that the ancient Penners had stashed upon their persons to liven up the proceedings, as would any reasonable citizens in the same situation. They shoved the very last bit of their medicinal elixir into their decrepit orifices and hoped for the best. Being as they were wrinkled has-beens with little else to look forward to, this was probably the best route for them to take. As the drugs kicked in, all that lay before them slowly morphed and slid from view as their perceptions of reality dissolved into a hazy dayglow vista of light and color. Their blood coursed through their gelatine veins until all that they could comprehend was a field of yellow and red, a vast sea of fire and hue. Where is my brain, dear? A voice was heard speaking, and more to the point, where is my bus pass? Plus my hay fever is playing up. Please load slide 28. Hay fever takes me back to the summer my eyes blew up like 2 balloons. I recall my old red swimsuit that itched like nobody's business. I scratched and scratched until I was raw. The orchard on the campsite we stayed at grew the best apples. It was the only thing that would keep my mind off the irritation. Then I saw a newspaper. I could just make out that it said in German, "Evacuation in progress. All foreign nationals must leave immediately." Please load slide 29. Back to the Surrey countryside. The old family house always looked appealing after a long journey, and the last journey was certainly one to remember. Germany was foreign and exciting, but with all the associated problems, but home brought serenity. The house had played host to many guests over the years, from Jones and his friend Freud on his first visit to the country for the weekend. In the picture you can see me, heading back from the village shops buying provisions before that fateful weekend. Please load slide 30. I couldn't believe my luck when I saw Janet's face in the supermarket queue. She was 30 years older, more wrinkly of course and less smiley than she used to be, but it was definitely her, the love of my youth that faith has taken away from me. She as well recognized me in an instant, and we both knew that we finally could spend our lives together. Unfortunately we don't have that much to talk about, so we bought the dog. Please load slide 31. As we continued our muted existence in the old people's home, our doctor prescribed some seriously strong medication, which had some interesting side effects, not the least of which was to turn the dog into a seal, a true sea dog after all. To be continued.